So it still hasn't put on the...
Oh, we're getting in the middle.
Oh! Welcome back to Spicy Tech. Today we're doing our first impressions. We're going to get Cry's first impressions on 11.4.9. And we're going to be doing a zigzag test. So right now we're starting off in a parking lot. I'm going to engage it. And
We're
yeah.
getting so close to that edge there.
It was initially going into the cars on the on the side there.
Okay, we missed that pylon, which is really good.
She needs to slow down here because it's a kind of a huge
There's something on the
curve on the
sidewalk too.
road. Okay. All right.
That was pretty good, honestly.
That was pretty
really
yeah.
smooth.
Yeah, it wasn't jerky. It didn't really feel robotic. There's something also that they brought back. So if you look here, what do you see? Anything different?
The arcs.
Yeah. So they also brought back the ultrasonic sensor arcs. So when it's close to an object, so for example,
Oh, why were
yeah,
we
buddy.
not on my water?
Yeah, so that wasn't
it's
good.
Close to the object.
Yeah.
Gets close to the object.
Wow. So I had to give it some joules there just so that it wouldn't break like super hard. And yeah, what happened there? Like, it was just, it had enough room.
Is it doing that? Like, I'm just wondering if it's doing that on purpose. Oh, and then that blue thing is more intense too.
What's that?
They like put your hand on the wheel, blue thingy.
Yeah, they want to make sure that you
Oh, we got a little room
you gotta
there.
go. You gotta
Some
go.
room, go girl.
Come on. So,
A little bit more hesitant now. I feel like just a tiny bit though.
well, just on that right turn, we had the right of way.
Whoa,
We had
whoa.
a protected. Okay, so it handled it pretty
That
decently.
was not good.
Why
For
does it seem
that-
like a lot is happening right now? Like it's
It's like Christmas holidays still. Like we're still taking our holidays. Just relax, everyone.
It's like it's a rush hour. So we had heavy braking there, and I thought that, you know, with the video module we would have some quicker reaction time, so it would slow down more naturally. But we had hard braking behind that car, and it felt like it was late to respond.
Oh wait, sorry. Is this new? Was that always there?
Yeah, that was always there. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I just didn't notice.
Yeah, that was a little disappointing. And then also on the right turn, that where we had it was a protected right turn more or less.
A quick right turn though, because you know that when it's protected there, it's only protected for a very short period of time.
It was protected for the people making left turns, so we could have made that right turn because only persons or vehicles making left turns were allowed.
So nobody was gonna be in our way.
Exactly, and it's felt like the system didn't recognize that at all, and it was overly cautious and hesitant. So
it could have taken that. It should have taken that
smoothly.
Chance,
Yeah, exactly. So it has a truck now, so it's the truck right beside us, so it's kind of squeezing more to the left side of the lane.
Now that I think about it, why did we stop so hard behind that person when we had like room to know that?
Oh, we had some. Whoa.
I think we're trying to turn here, but it's freaking out.
Okay. The lane markings, probably, folks. If you see the lane markings, it may have been solid and it was trying to squeeze itself in the lane, provided that it had dotted marks. I see that often, though. I think there's something up with the lane projection, like how the lane is displayed or how the system interprets lanes. Because sometimes you would see, even with dotted lines, it identifies it as a solid line. And then when you have to make like a right turn or a left turn, because it's solid, it wouldn't indicate and get in. But then as soon as it realizes it's dotted, it starts going in. But then it realizes again that it's solid, so it turns away. So
could it be the angle of the camera or something?
Not sure. I mean, if you folks have any ideas on what that might be or why that happens, I think it's just in terms of it needs to go. Yep. I just gave it a little bit of joules there because it needs to be more responsive. Like as soon as it turns green, it goes up, gets into the intersection, and then goes. But again, it could be because of chill mode.
It's not cleaning the glass like at all.
And that's another thing too as well. We're testing it out to see how this new software handles how the auto windshield wipers work in such conditions. Right now, I mean, I can see, it's fine-ish, but
I mean, if I
personally,
was I would be like, this is not safe.
Personally, I would have just cleaned the windshield. Okay.
Is it because she sees that person is trying to get in to the lane?
Perhaps. We also have a right turn coming up too as well. When you are in FSD, it automatically goes to auto, but with the new update, we can now switch it off. So we can turn it off if we want entirely, or we can put it on automatic. So before, it was mandatory. They gave you no option to remove or to toggle between the options for the windshield wipers. It was always on automatic when you had FSD or autopilot engaged.
Oh, okay.
So that's a new feature that they added. Not too sure why she's squeezing in there. We have a right turn coming up, so we see some drifting. Oh,
maybe because of the truck.
Yeah, there is a truck there. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
What's happening?
Yeah, so we have to get in there. We see here that we have we need to start indicating, bro. Get out. Yeah.
I don't understand. That was not good.
So that was not great.
We have to report that.
Yeah. So it didn't really. I mean, at first it did, and I think it was a human error on my part because it realized that the truck was stopped in advance. I didn't even realize that. The car saw it before me.
Yeah.
And it was indicating to get into the left lane to go around it. But yeah, so.
Is that an L on our part?
That might have been an L on our part. Let us know, folks. Go easy on us.
In the comments.
Go easy on us.
But do you think it actually would have worked if we just let it go?
Probably, but it might not have been
elegant.
Elegant, yes. It would have been a little bit choppy.
Yeah, and then it was just weird how it didn't try to correct it afterwards, though, because it was just like going into the truck.
It might have just, if it wanted to make that decision to begin with and we cancel it, it might have been thinking that it made an error when we made an error. Oh, there's some cones here, and she realizes that, she addresses it and gets into the correct lane, which was good. So I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if it actually just did that because we disengaged before and quote unquote corrected it. So it was like, don't do that same thing again. Windshield wipers still aren't coming on. I'll just leave it on this time. I'll leave automatic windshield wipers on to see when it's actually going to wipe. And I'm not too sure why it does that. Is it because its perspective is cleaner than our perspective? So it's fine with just how it is. And so because you have this side here different from this side, it doesn't use the actual windshield wipers when it should.
Right. Because this has a little heating element in there, right?
It has a heating element. I'm not too sure if it has like a hydrophobic coating,
Oh, maybe.
So...
But we did confirm that it has a heating element.
It does,
for sure.
Yeah,
because
for sure, yeah.
When you're using when it was
mode.
snowing, and then we put the Sentry mode, it actually melted it off, specifically that part.
Yes.
So that was cool. And that's cool. It actually heated up while we weren't even in the car, just for Sentry mode.
Yeah.
I mean, that's using your battery.
Yeah, you can see why it draws more power.
Yeah. Because it's not just the camera, like the actual heat is turning on. This is terrible though, like this doesn't, I could barely see through. I mean, maybe for you it's a little better.
Boy, and we have a bus too as well, stopping in the middle of the road because the right lane is cleared off.
Yeah, they have construction
Check
there.
out the visualization, say any difference you see?
Just bigger text.
When it indicates.
It indicates.
Okay, so Marsha waited for the bus.
And she's seeing the indicator and knows that means it's not going over there.
That was good, yeah.
So that was, yeah.
Perhaps if we had it on assertive mode, we would have changed lanes. lane.
So that anytime it puts on the indicator, it always says what it's doing. Is that new? That's the new thing.
Sorry, what
When it puts on the indicator, it
so I can check it out.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
you
blind
can
spot detection.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, nice.
So it still hasn't put on the.
Oh, we're getting in the middle.
Oh.
No.
Yep.
Our indicator. Okay.
So this is what probably V12 is having difficulty with. I mean, it's having difficulty here because right now, Elon made an announcement. He says that the employees already have the software installed, V12.1 installed, but they're having issues with precipitation environments where there's a lot of rain or there's some rain, drizzle,
Snow,
fog, and stuff like that. Exactly. So windshield wipers still aren't on, folks, and I'm sure from your point of view you can't really see much.
I can't see anything.
So yeah,
Woo!
and then we have a yellow line here.
Whoa,
Wow.
whoa, we went over the line.
Yeah.
Now you not you.
I can't manually clean it there. So perhaps I can slow it down because I mean it is on 65 in a 50.
Yeah.
In a 50
that
though.
could be us, maybe.
So I'm gonna just slow it down here.
But it wasn't dynamic. It just was like plowing through.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like it really. Yeah, it was rough. It was rough.
Yeah, we just like drunk drove through that.
It's just
Section
going
there.
diagonally in the lanes.
Yeah, it just instead of like turning, it just.
A good
Like
thing though
that,
that it doesn't like jerk the wheel to get back into the lane because that could be dangerous. And
That would have been worse.
you could have your rear end just swing out and that's it. Get into an accident, especially if it's But the thing is though, we have degraded conditions. There's some drizzle, there's some rain. There's no indication of that. So she wants to make a left here.
That is correct, yeah.
Okay, so that's fine. Now, this big truck coming into our lane here.
It's just
a little
big. I can't help it, I suppose.
So I'm gonna clean this out here, folks, because this is a little bit sketch that it doesn't have, it's not using the windshield wipers, and we can go.
It waited a little too long for this person to come though.
And going a little bit too spicy around that turn too as well. Surprised
in these conditions,
the rear wheel didn't just swing out there with us.
Okay, so we're taking a little bit of a risky turn after this.
But it was all right, folks.
area.
I'll say it's all right.
Mhm.
It was responsive. It felt a little bit more natural.
That was a
not
good
as
fast turn, though, I would say. But it's still, with the conditions,
there's
not
some level of
really
sketchiness to it.
super good. Yeah, I would prefer if it had, like, better conditions. Or, like, if it could recognize the condition and drive accordingly. And then
Right.
also, it waited so long for the person to get super close to the point that you had to make a fast turn.
Oh,
That
exactly, yeah.
wasn't necessary.
Yeah, it wasn't
in the
necessary, exactly,
beginning,
yeah. That's true, yeah.
It could have just taken a normal turn, or just waited for the person to go and then made a normal turn, which it was clear after them anyway, so there was no rush.
I mean, I can still see here, folks. Like, even though you're looking at the screen now and you're wondering, what are you looking at? Probably all pixels and stuff. But I mean, it looks all right. I can still see, but
you could see clearer if you.
exactly. And I find
clean.
like even if I have it on automatic mode, I still find myself manually wiping away the juice.
The cloud juice.
Shouldn't have to do that. So
Yeah, like, I mean, yes, I understand the cameras have their own heating unit, but it has to have a balance of, okay, the cameras are cleaning themselves, but then you also are managing the system is managing the cleanliness of the windshield. Like, there was one update where it was perfect, and then it just went downhill.
yeah. But I haven't applied any kind of formula or liquid to repel any water, any hydrophobic coating. There's nothing like that. This is just completely stuck, and I did that on purpose because I want to know how the system would run by default. So
With what you get.
yeah, exactly. So we haven't done all of those, those bells and whistles. They haven't been applied. It's just strictly what we got, and
Right.
and yeah, I mean, I don't know. You can let us know, folks, in the comment, like in terms of Is it this has a different kind of coating than the actual windshield, the screen here, and I'm not too sure why it's okay.
That was really good. It
Yeah.
it saw the sign and it actually went.
Fair enough. And
We
they
gotta-
actually wanted to overtake, and then they realized, oh,
It's
the lane is
closed.
actually closed or closing.
Pretty
So-
much closed at that point where they
Yeah.
wanted
So
to
that
go.
was good. That was good. Good
That
job,
was really
Marsha.
good.
Yeah.
Better than a human.
Perhaps. Because I was wondering why was she changing lanes. So
Oh, you were wondering.
Yeah,
Okay.
but then I was like,
I
okay,
knew where we
yeah,
were, so
yeah.
yeah, that was just So that was cool.
That's pretty
was-
impressive.
Like,
Yeah.
that's a huge props, to be honest, and I think that was a big W. That was the biggest win of this of this drive, because that we have trouble with all the time. It never changes the lane, but I think it's
That's
probably
true.
using OCR now to recognize the sign
Or new map data.
for
I
that
don't know.
specific. That too, or it could be the map data or the sign. But
Combination
it
of both.
wouldn't. But as soon as the sign was visible, she actually moved over, and she
Oh.
moved in the intersection too. So maybe she overestimated or underestimated. No, overestimated the shortness of the turn. If that makes sense.
Hey, it worked. It just has to. Yeah. Well, yeah. I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
know. My brain is not calculating the
Overestimating,
distance.
underestimating. I mean, let us know, folks. What do you think about that? Yeah.
So that specific, like, kind of closing is pretty long, but normally they're not.
So this has to
Let's
indicate,
see. Yeah.
has to get into the lane, and it used to make this turn really close to the curb.
Even
kind
though
of.
this lane is super wide.
Yeah. But now it's indicating and it's going into the lane, making the
Oh,
turns
a little bit wide.
a little bit
though.
close to the left side.
A little wide.
Yeah.
That person's blind spot went off.
I trusted
because
it.
of how close.
I trusted it, but I mean, yeah. I mean, I would more stick to the right side of the lane when making that
Or
right
just
turn.
even just take it a little more calmly. It didn't need to be that
Quick.
intense.
Yeah.
Just take your time. It's a big turn. Just chill. You know, it's not. I think that was more than 90 degrees though. That's probably why.
90 degrees in terms of.
Like this is the turn. So you turn like this to this. It was a little more like that. So you had a
Oh.
lot more to go around. I feel like
I see.
it may be not 100% sure.
Oh boy, we have a bus here.
It's
Oh.
still indicating that way though,
Okay, so that would probably.
to the right. Unless they forgot to put on their indicator.
Oh no, they are actually going
They are
right.
actually going right. Okay.
Okay.
So she's good.
Still, Marsha,
Kinda like a champ.
she's just going through this.
Just plowing through the rain.
And you can see here, like I would clean this up, but Marsha's like, nope, I don't need that.
Who needs to see? You don't need to see.
This
I'm
is what
taking
we
rain.
see here, and this is what Marsha sees on the top here.
Yeah.
And again, I'm wondering, folks, if this is clean and this isn't.
This part is clean. I'm seeing like I don't know if you can see, but there's like these rain droplets going upwards, but this area is actually clean, and this is
Yeah.
not even part of that. So I'm not sure if that's part of the error of why
The windshield wipers
it's
aren't
not
working.
working. Yeah,
That's good.
it's starting to go up now, but because of the heat, it's probably not going to go up into the camera.
Manual press here for that.
Yeah, because that was getting pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's
It's supposed to, and I find like with the
Yeah.
indicating, the system, Marsha should be indicating before she goes into the actual lane. What happens
that's
is,
the whole point of the indicator.
yes, what happens is, right now what's happening is, as she's going into the lane, she indicates. So
Mhm.
she indicates and goes in the lane,
Right.
not indicates, shows that she's indicating behind, and then goes into the lane. She indicates as she's going into the lane, which is not how it's supposed to
No.
be.
Because
But
then you're using it as if it's taking you left and right, kind of thing. If that makes sense. Like you're acting as if the indicator is the one that's taking you left and right, as opposed to you indicate to let everyone else know
That you're gonna be
they're
making
going
a
left
turn.
and right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I believe though with V12 that's not gonna be an issue.
I can tell you what I think. I think it's the opposite. You
Mm.
know why?
Why?
Because I mean, when it comes to deep learning and you have like so many parameters, right, inside of your actual
Model.
your model.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unstructured, or is it unstructured? Unsupervised.
Mm.
So when it's unsupervised, you don't tell it like, okay, the indicator means this left means this. It figures it out by itself.
Right.
So it doesn't necessarily know the human meaning of all of what we're doing.
Right.
So it interprets it for itself, what it means, and connects the patterns on its own. But
Right.
if it thinks, okay, like, I can see how it would make that connection. Like, okay, when you put on the indicator, you go left. When you put on the indicator to go right, you go right. But that's not really why we use it. But unless you tell it that. But then you can't tell it that when it's unsupervised.
Right.
So it's a little tricky there. I mean, you kind of have to see more. I guess you have to show more examples of it being used early to indicate to everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure if they're facing that now with B12, having all these 15,000 employees and so on, testing it out to do the right way. Yeah.
And then how do we know that the people testing are actually doing it, are driving correctly also?
That's the thing, yeah. So we will see. We'll see.
Yeah, that's the beauty and the not
Beast.
beauty of the well, yeah, the beauty and the beast
Beast.
of AI, I guess. Here, making this right here. We gotta slow down a lot more though, because they're coming on a hill.
Going a little bit too slow now because we have a green light. But she does.
This is also kind of a
Sharp.
more than 90-degree
Yeah.
turn.
She does that really.
So that wasn't too bad, to be honest. But it was a tricky timing because of the walking sign is on 1 and you have green and you know it's going to turn yellow.
Yeah.
I would say personally that was an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, in retrospect, I gotta make a correction. That was pretty solid because it was trying to ensure that the cars that were making the left turn there, they were making it, whether or not they had space, it was trying to figure
And
that
time.
out. And time.
Yeah.
And it made that smooth, really smooth too as well.
It also managed that super sharp turn as well.
Exactly. I must say though that with regards to, not too sure why it's slowing down there.
And
Just
probably
had a
that person.
On the car, yeah. I mean, it just a slight, very very slight slow down.
This is not good though. We're making a left turn in 1 kilometer.
It probably realized that these cars on the left, they're going above 70, you'd be going 65.
Possibly,
so she just wants to let them pass, and then once they pass, we can
Oh
go.
yeah, it looks like she's trying to get a space now.
Ooh. Oh, wow.
That was scary.
Okay.
That was really close.
That was epic, folks. I did not press anything.
What
I didn't press
happened?
anything.
What just happened? Explain.
It literally realized that, hey, I don't know if it realized that the road was okay. Let's check the lines
But
here.
it calculated the point of no return really well.
Okay, that was good. That was smooth. It had a little bit of issues there. But anyways, backtracking to that, it realized that it realized no point of return
Yeah.
by itself. So it was about to stop. And it was like, no, we're going too fast. The line is right there. I'm not going to press hard brakes, skid out, and all kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, but it also kept track of the cars on the left. We'll have to check it back out in post, folks.
It should also kind of speed up though. That's the only thing I would say. So I'd give it like a 9.
It probably could have.
Okay, I'll give
could
it
have.
like a 7 because you know why? It should have calculated the point of no return before, so it shouldn't have even pressed the brakes. Because I'm comparing it to like, okay, if I'm going to switch to self-driving, it has to be better than me.
Right.
So I want all the benefits of self-driving, which is it could calculate distances better than I can because it has actual sensors to calculate distance.
Right.
You have like eight pairs of eyes. Be careful, this bus lane.
Yeah, okay, it made that. I was fine.
Yeah, like I want it to be better than me, right? So I feel like it shouldn't have even pressed the brakes at all. It should have seen that and done the distance.
Yeah.
And then if possible, I mean, I know they don't really have it right now.
Nope.
It should have sped up a little bit to make that turn.
Yeah.
Or make that traffic light so that you don't run the risk of running red, because some traffic lights don't give you that much time.
That's true. I mean,
that
it was
a
little,
really long yellow, so that's why I was getting nervous.
That
like
was
if
a
you look
complex.
at this one.
It definitely was a complex situation there.
Yeah.
Um.
It usually gives you like 3-4 seconds about.
It was really,
That was
yeah.
a long yellow, so we were really lucky that we didn't hit red.
But I mean, I know, I understand what you're saying, but I
Mhm.
also want to give the system some huge props.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I
Um,
say 7. I just say there's a few points that would elevate it to like a 10.
because it did it elegantly
Yeah.
to a point where I don't have to worry about, like, what is it, like, are we gonna crash? Like,
Okay.
I was like, wow, okay, it did that. It didn't press hard brakes. It realized, hey,
Oh.
like, it wasn't supposed to do that, or it didn't have enough time to
What
make
is
it.
happening? Sorry.
We're in a parking lot now, so it's trying to make sense of what's going on here.
We have to go to that Dollarama though,
Oh.
so I don't know where she's going.
So the guy was just watching. I was like, what the hell are these folks doing? Is the car
Are
driving
we
itself?
zigzagging? Let's see how it goes here. You might want to keep your hand on the wheel though, because there's pedestrians and stuff around. This guy is just swinging around the corner. I think we just gotta take it to park.
All right, so that's it, folks. Overall, any impressions? Cry?
I mean, 2 big W's. Like the backtrack on the point of no return was still good. Like definitely that was a big W. Big one here.
Yeah.
And then what was the other big W? We had like a massive one. Which one is it again? Was it the right turn that
The right turn at a high angle or a low
at the
angle?
high angle?
It made it really smooth.
Yeah, it realized. And it also like did it in the timing that the people were able to make their left turn as well.
Let's check out the parking here real quick. Is it gonna recognize? It should. I mean, I think it did. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it did a lot of it definitely is more responsive, and this was even in chill mode. It still has the nuances in terms of this is kind of a bad parking from the
I'm
other
gonna be
part.
honest, they kind of messed it up.
Me?
No, them. You had it fine, and then it went the wrong way.
Yeah, I mean, they said that they enhanced. I guess they enhanced the visuals in terms of it identifying parking spots a lot better now. But in terms of it actually parking is kind of rough still. But yeah, I mean, we will see some advancements. It is improving, right? So it is recognizing parking spots a lot quicker now.
Yeah, so 2 big W's. Well, what were really the L's? I mean, the L's were not that bad, just a bit of hesitancy. This is all on chill mode as well, so we have to do another test. Not on chill mode.
Yeah. To see how that
Probably in
runs.
better weather as well, because I don't want to put it in assertive when
Yeah.
it's like this.
It's still having. I mean, we kind of made an error at the beginning when I had to take it off, and I had a parked truck or a truck
The truck,
that
yeah.
that
That
was
was
stalled.
actually very good. Oh no, the big W was the recognize the lane closing sign
Oh yes.
early
Yes. Because before it would stay in that lane, and we would most likely have to disengage and get into
and
the
manually,
lane,
yeah.
indicate and get into the lane. So it's recognizing those lane ending signs. We'd have to keep our eyes out for that though to
Yeah.
ensure that it actually is consistent
Well, we
all
have to
across
check
the
that on
board.
the highway too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, step backs really. Still, the windshield wipers aren't that great. The lane positioning is still off. The lane markings, it still has to get that. It needs to be more precise. There needs to be more accuracy there, because you see how at the beginning we were going diagonal. We weren't going with the flow of traffic, even following the car, which is a good thing and a bad thing, because it shows that it wasn't really exactly following the trajectory of the car in front. It was more trying to figure out its own way, its own navigational route. But then you have that issue where it's not recognizing the lanes because either it's wet, there's reflections, and it was going diagonal. It's crossing across multiple lanes, which it shouldn't have done. But besides that, though, we're getting there's not much phantom braking. It is making right turns and left turns more confidently, and we will test it out with assertive mode in our next run. So overall impressions, what do you like out of 10? What are you thinking so far? Is it an improvement?
I'd say like a
forward?
solid 6.5, let's say.
Are we getting some
To be
steps?
safe.
A step forward, or a step, or half a step
A few
forward?
steps forward, like some half steps back.
Okay.
So not horrible. It's definitely not horrible. It's definitely.
But honestly, with my error that I made with the truck
Mm-hmm.
that was parked on the right, I believe if I got some more feedback, like if it was saying indicating left for stalled vehicle on right or something like that,
Or
I thought
passing stopped vehicle or something.
passing stop vehicle. I'm not too sure if I'll have to check it out again and see if it was there.
Mm-hmm.
But if it gave me that feedback, I probably would have just said, okay, cool.
So you think that was a communication error as opposed to?
It could have. It's a combination
Yeah.
of both. Yeah, combination of both.
So maybe like if they have more customized messages.
Yeah.
Here to explain.
What the
Okay,
car's
this
doing.
is this. This is that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then, of course, you don't want to show everything because then you're gonna have a lot of false. You might show a lot of false positives, or you'll show it'll.
No, but that's
It might
good,
show
though.
more weaknesses in the system, but then we could correct it because we'll
Yeah,
be able to
then we
test it.
can actually improve it. I
So
think
they'll have more
it's
transparency.
still a W all the way
Yeah,
around.
fair enough,
Why
yeah.
did this person try?
Okay, well,
But yeah.
thank you folks again for tuning in. I hope you folks enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the notification bell, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.